Hello and welcome back. I'm Arumba, thank you for joining me. We're playing some EU4 Granada. Have I been calling myself Genoa? I might have been, I don't remember. I just like drew a blank there. I've been looking around at the map for about a half hour between episodes. Just looking at the map. Just clicking on provinces and doing this and looking at stuff. And I looked through like all of the special map modes again. One thing I'm trying to figure out right now that I don't quite understand is why a mine complex rank 1 says it has mine productivity of +2, which then produces iron, in this case, at 3. Why 3? Why not iron 2? I looked through every modifier, every building, everything in here to try to find out, like, is there, like, some multiplier that's taking it from mine productivity 2 to 3? But I couldn't find it, so I don't know. Also, I was curious about, like, when am I allowed to build mine complexes? Like, where... I mean... Is it fixed? Like, I don't see a thing in the provinces that says, like, hey, there's stuff in the ground here. So, like there's no provinces where it's like, hey, there's silver here, but you haven't built a mine complex yet. Right? I'm pretty sure. I guess I haven't actually checked that. If it were possible, it would, like, be a building. Actually, is this it? Yeah, okay, never mind. This one's yellow. There is no mine complex. Is there something in the ground? No, there's not. So there's nothing indicating like you could do it, but it is an allowed building here. Or maybe it's just yellow because it's being sieged. I don't know. It's too complicated to figure out. It's impossible. What else did I look around at a lot? Most is trying to decide, like, what would I actually spend money on if I could. I was surprised to find that I could actually start trying to build level 2 roads. They would be immensely expensive to build. 1,000 ducats to build roads in our capital. We could convince the locals to help pay for part of it. Urban wealth in province, 922. I mean, I could make them spend 500 ducats right now. I could insist that Granada builds them roads. The problem is, Granada is terrain highlands, which is slower, but it is our capital, and the effects of a better road network would be pretty useful in that province. It's right in between all these little wastelands, non-traversable stuff, and it gives a good bonus to movement speed. I pay attention to the small details probably way too much in games like this, but, like, you know, looking at the road network and the paved road network, okay? You look at one of these provinces, you hover over the terrain type, and you can see, as favorable terrain, a road network decreases travel time across this province by 0.25 and 0.5. So that's good. But in this province, it reduces it by 1.5, 2, 3, and 4.5. So, like, the numbers change. It's like it all shifts up by 1. So it's, like, interesting. Interesting to me. Anyway. None of it had any, it doesn't make any difference on my actual decision making for what's going on in this war, so I just thought I'd mention that I spent a lot of time looking around at the map. Also, I did learn more about why Cordoba lost its, we were getting those modifiers about it. We sacked the workshop, and I think that the easiest way to do it is using, I've gotten a lot better with this special map mode too, so we want to go to economic indicators. Nope, not that one. City data. Urban production skill. And then we can see here that they currently have 0. And in the tooltip it says we need to get up to 25. So we have a couple places that are pretty good at making stuff. We've got, Seville has 75 urban production skill. I think it might actually be higher than that. That's just like a breakpoint modifier. If we inspect Seville, I think it's higher. That would be economic data. Yeah, it's at 86. And I have no idea at this point now where I read about it, but it might have actually been in here. Here, yes. So centers of production generate skill over time. Without a center of production, the skill city will diminish down to 25. Once they get to 150, they double their transmission rate. So basically, they're gonna kind of expand out, almost like centers of reformation in vanilla, is my expectation. But anyway, I got distracted. We've got 3 that are decent, I think. I gotta turn that back on again now, don't I? Economic. It's completely different from rural production maturity and all that other stuff. I'm in the wrong one again now, aren't I? It's city data. So we've got our capital is obviously good. We've got this one over here that's pretty good. This one's at 25, working its way up. Actually, I'm curious, is Cadiz close to 50? No, they just hit 25. So they stopped making this thing called mundane urban goods, which you can see that's what we make here. This province just recently built this workshop. It's got some urban pop, but they don't have enough production skill to make anything decent, so they just make trash, basically. But Cadiz, they have some pop, and they recently hit 25, so now they are making cloth. So trade value of 75 versus trade value of 0.2. It's all very interesting. It doesn't really mean much or matter much. You could completely ignore all of this data, but it's pretty fascinating, I think. I like it. Also, oh yeah, that was the other thing. I asked the fellas more about how you control estates. And so here's what we're going to do. I can't really make the burghers weaker. I can't just, like, stop them from being in control of these provinces, because what's happening is my land is too good. We got too much infrastructure relative to rural population. So that apparently is like the primary factor. If you have high urban building, urban infrastructure, relative to the rural population, it's more likely to become burgher focused. But what I can do, and will do, in trying to make the greater nobles just a little bit stronger, is I'm going to take a look at their provinces. They only have 1. Or a bunch of, they have 2, never mind. Bunch of 3, sorry. Bunch of losers is what they are. They got 1 province with just like 1 dude living there. Anyway, I'm thinking to raise autonomy in these provinces, because by doing that, that gives them more power. It's going to cost me centralization, but it would maybe allow me to actually do something with them. Beyond that, I don't think there's anything else I can do to force the autonomy up, which is interesting. I can't just say like, hey, I want you guys to have more money, please. Oh, that's curious. So this is actually it's already on the rise. How did it get so low then? Anyway, I'm going to raise it here. Al Maria. It's going to cost me absolutism. Whatever, I don't care. Have some autonomy. We'll do it in these 2, both of them. And then something else I'm going to do is in the provinces that are controlled by the burghers. I can remember my map modes. Even though it's nice, the idea of having a level 5 fort in my capital, I'm going to destroy their local fortifications so that my monthly autonomy change can actually continue to go down and effectively weaken the burghers. I think I'm allowed to do this. I hope they don't just end up wasting the money to build it. They're built in places that they... I hope that this also doesn't cost them, like, loyalty or something. Okay, it doesn't. Good. It's just a standard... It's a standard building, basically. So, again, provinces owned by the burghers that are protected by real forts... are going to have their fortifications destroyed. I think that's going to do it for now. Alright, let's finish our war. Also, I noticed that one of the reasons why our income went down so suddenly is that our truce is up with Portugal, and he is embargoing me again, because he's a dingus. And it's cost me a lot of money. So yeah. Anyway, let's play. I like it. Look, we got 100 spy network strength. Glorious. Alright, now we have this one controlled. Is the reinforcement speed? Okay, it is back up, so it does consider whether or not it's occupied and adjacent. You know what it must be? The reason why this one was at the higher reinforcement rate is because I'm allied to Aragon, and even though he's not in the war, I think I have military access through his land, don't I? Yeah, I do. So I have access through him. He's not in the war, but because I have the ability to get adjacent to him, to the province, it's considered friendly and controlled, meaning not occupied by Castile. So his entire perimeter is going to have that better reinforcement rate. Anyway, we should probably take advantage of the fact that we have access. Just keep on working our way up, look along the coastline up here again. We've been just wrecking Castile this campaign. He is... I was looking at some of his other modifiers and numbers, and he has just like no infrastructure, no money anywhere. Ooh, wall breach on his capital. I could fight the Castilian pretenders. I think I'm probably better off though, just like letting them finish the siege, hoping that they destroy some fortifications, and then maybe wait the month and come in after the fact. I mean, because for the first time in like a couple decades, we actually have manpower. It's really strange. Now, his army went somewhere in here. I'm not sure where it is. Let's have everyone go together then. Fortunately, both my leaders are tied up. Did he like get rid of his army, or I mean, yeah, where is it? Okay, more Castilian pretenders. I guess he's not done with that event, is he? Maybe he's going to try to relieve the siege of his capital. Not gonna work, but... Alright, he is actually gonna come do this. So I want this war to be pretty quick and dirty. I don't really want to spend a lot of time doing like 100%, because I do want to go to war with Portugal. So let's see if we can just peace out now, which is actually the main reason why I had considered taking that pause earlier. Didn't actually spend any time looking around at bestials. Got too distracted by all the other stuff. Alright, so the things that we could take for 0 dip. We could transfer this to our buddy Leon. And then I've got claims on these 3 down here. I highly doubt I'll be able to take all of this stuff. Making my subjects stronger right now, I feel like, is probably not a good idea. They're already pretty high on Liberty Desire at the moment. So even though we declared using our subjects' claim, I might end up going for the land that will benefit me. I looked around everywhere trying to figure out if there was some way I could just, like, give money to the peasants, and make them make farm estates and plantations and stuff, but I didn't find it. So Mercia is pretty appealing, and then we have these 2. Workshop already there, already has roads. And what do you have? Ooh, a corporation guild. That's a level 2 workshop. Yeah, so I'm definitely leaning towards these 2. And then if we can take Mercia, sweet. And if we can take this, that's actually pretty good. I think that's a pretty reasonable little war. You want to give him this one or this one? Commune Hall rank 0. Huh. Why not call it like rank 1? 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, why count from 0? Alright. Spoils Award. Decisive victory. Let's take a look. How did we actually end up doing? we lost 4,200 manpower to attrition. Brutal. Just brutal. Altogether, I lost like 2/3 of all troops. And look at this, even Castile lost most of their men to attrition, and we never even saw him. Like, we never even got close to his army. So those guys should just bug out now that they are sieging down a province that they are not actually supposed to. Of course, we want the stability points. How are we doing on stability right now? We're at 111. That's good. We'll take the stability points. And I don't know how often the estate's power stuff. Papal state has inherited the throne of the anti-pope. Alright. I took 3 provinces for myself. They actually can't maintain their siege now. It's funny. It is, of course, the burghers, and the burghers would be my guess. Burghers. Lesser nobles! Hey, it's another province with lesser nobles. Nice. Yeah, there they go. They're bugging out. Alright, since we know that he's probably going to stop and siege something, let's go ahead and go down to no maintenance. And let's consider already a trade war, I think, with Portugal. England will defend them, but as we saw up here, England has a questionable ability to use boats. And they have pretenders right now. Does he even have very many ships? England, naval superpower, has 4 boats. So he's non-factor. He can't get down here. He does have Aquitaine, though. They're a vassal underneath England. So, if I were to declare war on Portugal, and I had access through Aragon, then Aquitaine would have access through Aragon, and we would see armies come in from the north. So we should at least check out Aquitaine's army size too. Other than that, I think I can pretty much ignore England. So, Aquitaine. They've got a lot of manpower, 3 infantry. And we've got a looming disaster because I have overextension. It's fine. Knowing that martial law only calculates once every 5 years makes me want to click the button. 3 provinces? How much would it cost to actually click that button? 20 admin and 20 ducats, and then I could start coring right away. Let's just dispatch him. Okay. Since cause your system to crash, make sure you save your game. Your country does not have too many harbors, however, the second option will better visualize the system. Well, I don't really care about it. Just do it. Don't crash the game, please. Patronize the Ulema. Church influence is at 50%. No, I don't want to do that. Let's pursue religious tolerance again. We're a tolerant nation. I don't think we lost very many men. I mean, we lost like 4,000 manpower, but like we didn't really lose that many. It wasn't a complete loss like normal. That was pretty good. All right, we dispatched runners. Can we core now? Yes, we can. Now here's another question. Does that? No, it does not do it for the whole world. It just did it for me. My subject still has to wait for the 5-year pulse to be allowed to do his clicks. Well, either way, this one's going to finish soon. It's not going to be enough, I think, to bring me down below the 10% threshold, but I can get those cores started. And, please stay lesser nobles. One option is to just actually straight up destroy urban infrastructure if I wanted to switch the composition of my country. You know, just burn it all down. Just local fortifications here, huh? It's like we could use an actual fort in this area. I want to check population. Over here, like, this would be a good location, I think. So Seville, even though it is, wait, what? Is this recalculating? The burghers are disloyal, and it's showing that they have no estate. I think Seville might... And Cadiz? What? I have provinces that are, I think, recalculating right now. Huh. Could I just go ahead and, like, pick, please? And if you're not going to be controlled by the burghers, could you, like, not have the burghers disloyal modifier, please? Aragon inherited Sicily. I should probably improve relations with that guy on occasion. He's still technically my ally. Still just spying on Fez for no real reason. Anyway, I would definitely like to go to war with Portugal, just to stop him from being allowed to embargo me. I think it could be a pretty quick, easy war. Only got one fort that's an actual fort, and his capital only has a level 1. That's his capital? No, has a capital or province. It's not your capital. Where's your capital? It's this thing over here. Busy looking for Lisboa. Well, his capital has a level 1 fort, and now we have boats, so we can blockade him. And more importantly, block him from being able to embargo me. His embargo on me is actually really strong. Look at this. I have a penalty from him at negative 43%. Almost as much as more, in fact, than I get from my 3 merchants that are all transferring trade. So, yeah, I think it's about that time, eh? I think we're going to have to go to war with Portugal. So, now we do have adjacency if we ferry the troops over that way. So, let's go ahead and start sending some troops over. I'm still going to wait a few more months. I'd like to get the war exhaustion down all the way to 0. And I'm pretty curious to see what Aquitaine does. I'm wondering also if I should cancel military access through Aragon temporarily so that maybe, depending on relationship and opinion, they're neutral. England could probably get access through Aragon if they wanted it, but let's not make it easy for them. Charges of innovation, we'll take the, that's a long controversy. I'll do this one. Religious scandal wouldn't really bother me anyway. Alright, we got our diplomat free. Let's cancel access. There's no chance that anyone wants to just, like, give me trade power, is there? Some of them are semi-willing. Could work on it. Alright, well, we ended the war. Not a lot of actual time passed in this episode, but we'll go back up to speed 4 while we get ready for our thing here with this fella. But yeah, I enjoyed the time I spent between episodes, and I hope that you got something out of it too, because it was interesting for me. All these functions and mechanics in this game are really quite nuts. Okay, just calculated something important. And there goes his capital. Stadium Pretenders. Still a level 4 fort. Sadly, they didn't burn it down. I don't care about the unrest. Shoot, I just had a thought now and I don't remember what it was. I wanted to do something. Oh, I wanted to check states to see if they get reassigned. Okay, they're back in control of the burghers. Well, why did it, like, remove the burghers and then give it to him again? Maybe it just pulses every now and then? Maybe that's how it recalculates. Anyway, now that it is back in control of the burghers, we got a lot of population here. We should build a fort so we can strip the fortifications and get the autonomy down. So, let's pursue a fort option. It's only 150 ducats. Manpower! I'd really rather not. Unfortunately, I can't convince them to spend urban infrastructure to build it. Alright, we'll get a little bit more money from Portugal, then we'll build a fort in Seville. And that will be good. It's going to be decent spacing, too. We've got one already in Cordoba. We've actually got a nice little strip of them down here. Alright, cool. I'm going to put a cut in here. I'll be back in the next episode, though. As always, thank you for watching. Hope you're enjoying the campaign. I'll see you in a bit.